Okay, I'm gonna go over this setup for this alternate way to skip this pile of rubble at the end of this level. The method where you clip out of bounds down there and like do the few circle jumps is giving me a bit of trouble, so I decided to come up with something else instead, and this is what it ended up being. So first thing you're going to do is come down here, and we're going to use a setup using all these circles in the floor. You'll notice that when you look over here, it starts on a whole circle or a half of a circle in reference to this line here. And so what you want to do is get one of these columns, like perhaps with this air vent, with the whole circle, and you're going to count 5 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you want the box just barely touching the leftmost edge of the last circle, like that. The angle's not too important. I'm going to go ahead and quick save here. As for the clip, it's not as hard as it looks. The inputs are pretty easy. You're going to hold up and to the right and jump as soon as you enter this gap, as soon as you do. And once you do, you're going to mash space and swing your camera to the right. So it's going to look something like that. Now this roof here does have very interesting properties. If you're not landing on those wooden beams at the top. Alright, so here's something to note. You have to land on this wooden beam. Notice it goes here, here, 3, 4, and then it has these 2 horizontal beams. If you're not standing on these beams, you will boost through the ceiling and it will instantly kill you every time. Well, most of the time, like 90%. And so you obviously can't like just jump around this either and land on the other side, because it'll also instantly kill you. And so what I came up with is I used these 2 additional wooden beams here as a setup, because they get you through the ceiling kinda, so you don't die from the fall. And the jump here is it's pretty easy. You're gonna jump to this area here. You're just gonna tap space and tap forward for a moment, just until you land here. Notice that I'm standing on this model here. If you go too far in, you'll get trapped in here, which is not good for speed. Right? And there's also no getting out either, because the floor here is solid. Everything here is solid except for some of these rocks. I digress. You land here, and what you want to do is you want to land basically on top of this like pixel thin wall, and then crouch. And once I'm here, I use these models as reference. You'll notice this corner right here. What I do is I move to the right until it becomes in a straight line or flush with the ground texture here. And that helps me get in position the right way. Now what I do is I look slightly to the right, and what I'll do is I'll move slightly forward and then hold left for a moment. And the goal is to land on the floor down there before the rocks and not clip back in bounds. And it can be pretty tricky, so we'll see how it goes. Went pretty well there. Now the last part of this, which you should know if you're familiar with the other route of doing the circle jumps, is just get around this. And all that is what I do is I walk slightly forward, and you'll notice when you walk forward into these, it'll push you out to the right a bit. And once you go out just slightly to the right, I'll hold forward and left and jump back in. And the wall also helps to kind of boost you back. I'll do that again real quick. Hope it works. See, easy. And that's all there is to it, really.